The organisation has been incorporated off the back of my book, which is called I Am the Shame. It's my autobiography of my childhood trauma that I lived with for 40 years plus. And even though I would say I'm healed from my trauma, I still have triggers with my mom. And so we've spoken about it, and we're going to go into therapy together to, build on our relationship, because no one's promised tomorrow. But I would love to have a fulfilled relationship with my mom before she closes her eyes.
Yeah, I just think it's amazing how you're able to help people with, something that you've been through, and
Yeah.
now other people have the opportunity to, I mean, sometimes even just talking about it, as you
Yeah.
said.
Well, since I released the book, and you asked the question about how long have we been going. So I launched the book and the organisation in January 25. So we're just over 12 months in existence. And I found that since writing the book, I myself have been liberated, because I used to live with a lot of ailments as well. And that's stress. Stress can bring on different forms of ailments, and after I wrote the book, I felt liberated, and I felt more of myself as well. So I didn't really feel all the aches and pains that I used to feel. So that subsided. With producing the book and promoting it, a lot of women, mainly women, but men as well, have been gravitating to me, and we have been, having those deep conversations and allowing them to cry if they must, but release what's in them. And I've been amazed by the response since I wrote the book and starting the organisation. Um, and part of the organisation as well is we run workshops. So in the book, I talk about my trauma. I also talk about how I healed through the trauma using Stoicism. And I also have resources in the back of the book, because I'm also a mental health first aider as well. So I know of the resources that can help someone who's in crisis. But then I thought, do you know what? I want to be a resource as well. So this is where the organisation stemmed from, because I'm not a counsellor and I'm not a therapist, but I am a life coach, and I support victims with trauma so that they can at least try to deal with it rather than live with it. And it's not linear. And even if you get healing, it's about maintaining coping mechanisms, so that if you feel a dip, or you feel low, or you feel a trigger, you can, we tell you sit in it for the moment, but don't stay in it. And that's where you can find all the coping skills and mechanisms to take you out of that. So we run retreats as well. So the last couple of retreats, we talked about reflection. So we do journals as well. We do a 30-day journal. So that person, even when they've come to the retreat and they've gone through all the coping mechanisms, they go away with a journal, and then in 30 days we'll come and touch base with them again to see how they felt, how did they cope.
What does self stand for?
So self is supporting empowerment, liberation for survivors. And the reason why it's called self is it starts with you. It starts with yourself. As much as anybody could say to you, you need counselling, or you need to go and see a coach or have some therapy. If you're not ready, no matter what anybody says to you about what you need to do, unless you're ready within yourself to start dealing with your trauma, it will start, but it may not finish. And some start the journey and some don't. But if you really, really want to get to the root cause, you yourself have to make that first step.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is there one final thing that you would like to say to the listeners?
Yeah. I would say don't go to the grave with your trauma. Speak about it. Speak your truth. Even if it's in private, even if it's in confidence. You don't have to be like me who's spoken my truth out there and it's in the public domain. But what I would say, that's my calling. That's my calling, to share my story so that I can support and help someone else to relieve themselves from that trauma and to live out the rest of their days in a better life. And we really, because I lived with mine for 40 plus years, and I was in my 50s when I first started to really look into this. I would love to work with younger people, individuals between the ages of 18 to 25, so that if you're able to get the healing or have the coping mechanisms to help you through, that once you get to that age, you can then start to live your better life from an earlier age. Not like me, later on in my 50s, without having any regard to what really was going on inside of me. So, if you wish to, try to see if you can get some form of healing or even to speak about it in private, give us a call. Let's support you and get you the help you need.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeannie, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.